retired, so I should take up the same thing that he's in to be sure to have a good job, a good possibility since I was a Houstonian. So this was in agriculture, so I went to Prairie View and started in agriculture. But I found out this wasn't really what I enjoyed. So while I was at Prairie View in my freshman year, I started going around and working over at the school of, well, it wasn't a school of veterinary medicine, but it was the hospital, animal hospital. Dr. Evans, who later became president of Prairie View and was the first dean of the School of Veterinary Medicine, was the veterinarian. And it just was interesting watching him work. I also worked with another young man there that was a senior graduate student, really, was Dr. Dentz now. But later he's the one that really interested me too in the field of veterinary medicine. He had me to go on field trips with him, and we would deliver calves and all this. And this as a freshman in the School of Agriculture, I said, boy, this is exciting. So I got more interested in the animal side of the field of medicine.
But before that, in high school, though, did you play with a lot of animals in, or you didn't? You never?
No, I always owned dogs and was interested. Yeah, but I'm talking about as far as making my profession or life and getting my livelihood from this. That never entered until Mr. Alexander, which was one of my teachers at Booker Washington, interested me to go into the ag side. So after I got into agriculture at Prairie View my freshman year, well, then I discovered that I liked the science part, which was dealing with the animals and animal health.
Now, you say you went to Prairie View. Did you finish from there and transfer to Tuskegee, or did you?
No, I didn't finish my senior year at Prairie View. When they got ready, the war came along, and some of us got drafted, and then some of us got out, and I was trying to finish up my schooling to get my degree in agriculture at Prairie View when I found out that, again, I still was interested in veterinary medicine. So I started writing off to different schools. At that time, they only had 18 colleges, and we couldn't go to Texas A&M because they didn't accept blacks. The schools that would accept blacks was Kansas, Cornell, Michigan State, and Penn State, and a few of those schools. But the other schools just didn't accept it, except for maybe one or two Jewish schools. But Tuskegee was starting this beginning, and I did not know that at the time, but I had talked with Dentz, and he told me that Evans was trying to get a first-class group together for the first class.
So now Dr. Evans was Prairie View's president. Is that what
He was, Dr. Evans was Prairie View's veterinarian at the time, and he was over like an agriculture commissioner too. But he was later selected as the first president of Prairie View. Dr. Banks was there first, but they didn't never call him president. So Evans, along with Dr. Patterson, who was then president of Tuskegee, got together and developed the curriculum for the School of Veterinary Medicine at Tuskegee. And they got the first group of teachers together. In the meantime, they were trying to get a group of students, good students together. I think all together when we got to Tuskegee, it must have been about 30-something of us who were trying to get in the first class. They took 16 in the first class. As I said, that Dr. Evans did come to Houston. Dr. Evans did come to Houston to talk with my mother to see could I be in the first class, and he interested us. But in the meantime, I was trying to tell you that I had written off the other colleges, and I had been accepted at Michigan State. But I gave up that in order to go to Tuskegee and be in this first class. And so I did enter in the first class for Tuskegee.
So why'd you make that?
So Evans, along with Dr. Patterson, who was then president of Tuskegee, got together and developed the curriculum for the School of Veterinary Medicine at Tuskegee. And they got the first group of teachers together. In the meantime, they were trying to get a group of students, good students together. I think all together when we got to Tuskegee, it must have been about 30-something of us who were trying to get in the first class. They took 16 in the first class. As I said, that Dr. Evans did come to Houston. Yeah. Dr. Evans did come to Houston to talk with my mother to see could I be in the first class, and he interested us. But in the meantime, I was trying to tell you that I had written off the other colleges, and I had been accepted at Michigan State. But I gave up that in order to go to Tuskegee and be in this first class. And so I did enter in the first class for Tuskegee.
So why'd you make that?